Jan Jayantiya Gaurav Divas in honor of tribal freedom fighters by our country. Why particularly today is taken for such celebration? Yes, it is the birth anniversary of Brisa Munda, who is revered as Bhagavan by the tribal community across the country. Brisa Munda was an iconic freedom fighter, social reformer, and revered tribal leader of the country. There must be an initiation to all the forward step, that too, to lead the oppressed people. There must be a need of bold leader to lead them to upliftment. So, today we are having a debate on the topic, the impact of freedom fighters' effect on the tribal community is voiced out or voiceless. For that, I invite Kavya of First BA English to depend on voiced aspect.
Good morning to all. One individual may die, but that idea will incarnate itself in 1,000 lives, said by Netaji. It is blood alone that can pay the price of freedom. Give me blood and I'll give you freedom, are the golden words of Netaji. Likewise, so many tribal people's bloodshed was behind the freedom of our country.
To defend that, I invite Bhavya of first, second biotechnology.
Good afternoon, all. The Ministry of Education, under the leadership of Union Education and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Minister Sri Dharmendra Pradhan, will be celebrating Jajantiya Gaurav Divas in the grand manner in school, higher education institution across the country. Last year, the government had declared 15th November as Jajantiya Gaurav Divas, dedicated to the memory of brave tribal freedom fighters. 15th November is the birth anniversary of Brisa Munda, who is revered as Bhagavan by tribal communities across the country. The commemorate the contribution of the tribal freedom fighters, the Ministry of Education, in association with the AICTE, UGC, Central Universities, private universities, other HEIS, skilling institution, is celebrating Jajantiya Gaurav Divas. One individual may die, but that idea will, after his death, incarnate. Now,
Thank you, Bhavya. Now I invite Srini of First BA English to defend her.
Good morning to one and all present here. So I am here to talk about contribution of Janjaweed heroes in freedom struggle. The history of the India freedom struggle is the history of the tribal movement in India. And it is because of the tribal movement in India precedes any other national movement in India. The tribals were the first to be affected under colonialism. They were the first to fight against the British since the incorporation of the province of Bengal into the colonial state. In 1765, the tribals have defended their land, their resources and their country. Too many not have a state structure like Mughals and any other imperial state, and they came out fully in whatever arms or weapons they had and resist their colonial state. So they fought longer than any other freedom fighters or nationalists, well in the term of the category freedom fighters and nationalists. So in the context of the Northeast, we can't take one single hero cause a whole village could resist the British institution among the tribal, and it is a practice to entire village will come up resist the British institution. So we tend to identify one person prominently because that one was either imprisoned, reported or hanged. But one should be remembered that tribals, the entire village should fight for the British, and we would fight for British and our land, for resources and for our country. The government has declared November 15th as the celebration, so it has also happened to be the birth anniversary of the great tribal leader, Brisa Munda, whose role as the freedom struggle changed the course of the modern Indian history. He spearheaded a tribal religious millionaire movement that across the Bengal presidency, now Jharkhand, in the later 19th century during the British Let the kingdom of the Queen be ended and our kingdom be established. Thank you.
A well-needed talk. Now I invite Priyavadana of second basic technology to present.
Good morning everyone. I am here to say that I will start my point with a quote. If we are deaf to hear, the sound has to be very loud. Before Munda has speak about how they are done things, but we don't even know the name of the person. If we talk about the freedom fighter, we always say Mahatma Gandhi, Netaji, Subhash Chandra Bose, but we don't even know the name of the person who has been taught. So I am here to say that if someone has to be voiced out, if someone has they are voiceless because of the condition of poverty, exploitation, and economic and technological backward, and due to illiteracy, many people doesn't know about these facilities that are provided to the tribal people. So we have to make sure that these are voiced out in order to know what they have been given, what are the facilities they have been provided, and how they may take care of that. And nowadays we always protect a vintage building or an ancient building, but we always try to destroy things that always belongs to the tribes. This condition has to be changed. We should always protect and prevent than to repent and repair. So we should think about it and make action to the world to know about these leaders. Thank you.
Elegant speech about the tribal people, impressive, congratulations. Now, after having all the healthy debate from both the sides, we should conclude the debate, whether it is voiced out or voiceless. For that, I call upon Salome Angeline to wind up the session with her speech.
Tremendous morning to one and all. India's freedom struggle was strengthened by several movements by tribal communities such as Sankals, Tamars, Kols, Bills, Kasis, and Misos, to name a few. The revolutionary movements and struggle organized by the tribal communities were marked by their immense courage and supreme sacrifice. Tribal movements in different regions of the country against the British colonial rule got linked with the national freedom struggle and inspired Indians all over the country. However, the public at large is not much aware about these tribal heroes. The revolt mainly concentrated in Munda, belt of Kant, Tamar, Sarvada, and Bangkar. The date is the birth anniversary of Sri Brisa Munda, who is referred as Bhagavan by tribal communities across the country. Brisa Munda fought bravely against the country, against the exploitative system of the British colonial system, and spearheaded movement against British oppression, giving a call for revolt. The declaration acknowledges the glorious history and cultural heritage of tribal communities. Freedom fighters were people who sacrificed their lives selflessly for the freedom of their country. Every country people look up to them in terms of patriotism and love for one's country. They are considered the epitome of patriotic people. In short, freedom fighters are what made our country what it is today. However, we see nowadays people are fighting for everything they stood against. We must come together to not let communal hatred come between and live up to the Indian dream of freedom fighters. Only then will we honor their sacrifices and memory. Thank you.
Really a thought-provoking debate we had now. Today we are very eager to take the pride of the developed country. Okay, but still there are many tribal people, they are struggling a lot to come up in social, political and cultural aspects. But we cannot neglect the upliftment of such people with the help of the government. But still, we need to voice out loud to make the sufferings of the tribal people vanish away and create a nation which is equally having developed people all around. Thank you.